So we're halfway through this project of getting everything put back into the underside of the E46. And at this point, it's been a struggle. All I want to do is to be able to get everything back in the rear end, and so we can take it out. We're going to be doing donuts, leaving lines, you know. But yeah, I honestly feel like all the hard work that we just put in the first video of restoring the underside is getting ruined. With everything breaking and every other part being a struggle, it's been so hard for me not to just get up and I could basically make a 3-hour video at this point of just the stuff that I've messed up and trying to fix it. But the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna run through the important parts that I feel like you guys should see and the parts that might help you guys. And we're gonna finish them as fast as possible so that way we can actually take the car out, see how the M3 rear end feels and how the car drives. It's supposed to look like that, but there's a bolt broken off into it. Nice.
So I'm gonna make a custom tool here, but I've gotta have it as straight as possible. Does that look straight to you? Good, nice, nice. So I'm not a welder, but can anyone tell me if I got enough penetration here or if I need to heat it up more? Now this tool should just spin it right out.
But we've got this guy and the breaker bar. What broke? No. That's impossible. No way. Only one way to go. All right, I've been messing with trying to get this bolt out for about the past 5 days now, and I just can't keep messing with it. I really don't like this, but I went through and tapped it. It doesn't look great. I can't lie. It doesn't look great at all in there. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the bolt, take the BC coilovers, and then bolt them back up just to test if it can hold the torque. I have to clean this up so that I can breathe again and then get the rest of this stuff put back on the car because I can't just keep dicking with this one little bolt forever. Okay, now with both the wheel bearings installed, we can move on to the differential, which has been leaking all this fluid everywhere since I got it. And apparently it seems like it's coming from this seal that's right in here, which is also the cause of, I think, all of this gunk. So I don't have any of the special BMW tools that they say you need to install this, but we're gonna find out if it's possible to do it without them. So I've got it cleaned up a little, and then I marked and notched on there where to bring this back, because in the video I watched it said there's no specific torque, but you wanna make sure that it's the same spot or else you can over tighten or not tighten that enough. So 32 millimeter on here. She's off. So now this came off easier than I thought it was going to. Okay, this is going easier than I thought it was gonna go. So I'm gonna try to keep the momentum. Don't want to scratch anything here. She's off. Nice. See if we can do this all in one take. Make sure this is all clean up in here. We got the new seal right here. I guess this new design is better because it's got a spring in there, and instead of buying the $5 million BMW tool for it, I'm just gonna kind of slap it on there. These bearings that I just took off are actually just about the same size as this. So I'm gonna stick her on there. I've got the paper towel because I don't want this nasty stuff falling off when I hit it into the diff. So I've got that lined up on there. BMW would be proud. Woo! Yeah, I got this a little cleaned up. So now we're gonna pray that our luck continues and we can get this back on. No? Yeah? Dude, why was that so easy? He was using all sorts of tools. He used like 5 different BMW tools that cost $100 each. Fuck, I don't know. I might have just messed something up. But either way, let's Let's see if we can tighten this back on the same way. Just hold it with your foot. Oh, that's not gonna work. I need to hold it with something else. So that didn't work. I just recorded what feels like 5 minutes worth of stuff without the recording being on. I said sorry for anyone who doesn't have an impact because that's what I used. So today just got extremely exciting. I wasn't planning to be even close to done with this until Monday, because Monday my e-brakes are getting delivered because I ordered all new e-brakes since I lost parts of them. I lucked out and found the part that's $70 for no reason at the junkyard, so I don't have to get that. But I just got an email that said the e-brakes were supposed to be delivered today, so that got me hyped up. I just changed my trans fluid, and then when I get home, I'm going to attempt my solo transmission install. I'm honestly scared about it because I'm just going to set it on me and try to lift it in. I think it'll work. I don't really know a better way to do it because my one jack is tilting the engine down, so it'll be easier than it was to get it off. But doing it with it on top of me is kind of scary. So I don't recommend doing it this way at all. But you'll see if it works out for me. If this video doesn't get uploaded, you'll know it didn't work out. But if it does work out, I'm going to have this car done tonight. Like, no matter what. It's Friday night. I'm not sleeping until this car's on the ground. I almost forgot the shifter and all that. I got all of this brand new. It's a Garagistic kit that replaces all the bearings and then these things from FCP. And I had to get the M3 one apparently. Let's do a little play test before, and then I'll show you guys how it looks after. So this guy, I don't know if it's supposed to move like that. This guy. I swear I feel like that's supposed to be in there a little bit. And then finally, this guy. I also feel like that's not supposed to be super easy to remove. Ooh, I like that. Feels solid. Yes. So before we get into the transmission install, we need to do the transmission uninstall. So take off the pressure plate. Looks good. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but it's not crazy. And then flywheel, same deal. It's just a couple bolts. Boom. Okie doke. I'm gonna clean this up, and then we're gonna do a new rear main seal, pilot bearing and all that, and then put it back together. In order to remove the pilot bearing, you gotta feed it bread and hammer it in there. So now once you've fed it about 1.5 pieces of bread, you now have mice and ants because there's a bunch of breadcrumbs everywhere. But you also have the bearing off. Okay, next up, 2 13s right here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10s. This is what we're looking like in here. It was definitely leaking a bit. It looks like not around here, but down here. I'm happy with how clean this is. It's not perfect, but I'm in a little bit of a rush trying to get all this done now. So to get it off, this is not the right way to do it, but there's a way to do it. The new one, I'm gonna try the method where you set it on here. This is an extra not good thing to do, but watch yourself. And you know what? I like it nice and flush. As far as this goes, that's clean enough for me. I'm gonna take this seal here. It can only go one way. Before I put this on, I'm gonna take a little bit of RTV. The reason being is down here, there's this crack basically, and we don't want anything leaking through there, so I'm gonna do a tiny bit right here. There's that. And for the clutch, like I said, I've never done one of these before, but it comes with a tool, so then you can line it up. So you just literally push it in there, and then the pressure plate on top of it, it sits into those little notches, so you can't really mess it up. And then just tighten it while you hold the clutch alignment tool in like the center. And there she is. Now, moving on to the solo transmission install. I know that anybody watching this who has done a transmission before or anything like this, when I was talking about this, you were thinking, and you were right, because there's no way that this would ever work. These things aren't crazy heavy. It's something that you can hold, but being underneath it and trying to slide it in there at the same time, it's just not gonna work. And then even if I did get it up there, it would have been hanging and I would have been stuck underneath it trying to push it on. Yeah, it's just not a good idea. So if you're doing this, what I did was I kind of balanced it on the jack and had someone control the jack up and down as I was kind of forcing it in and wiggling it. It's something that's hard and it takes time. So if you're doing it, just take your time and you'll get it. For the rear end, I did the same exact strategy and we just made sure that it went up on the studs, and after that it was super easy getting this one in. And then the last thing on the rear end is just kind of putting these trailing arms on, and it's basically to buttoning stuff up. After the parking brake, I wanted to do a full new one since we're in here and it's easier to do now, and it honestly wasn't that expensive, and the one before never really worked, so it'll be nice. So this is more important than I thought because I didn't imagine the e-brake orientation and all that was going to be super hard to figure out, but after struggling for the past 2 hours, here's what I found out. Here is the orientation. The big spring goes on the side with this guy, which goes together like that, and then the skinnier spring goes with this guy. Obviously, these two things go in the middle. Today's the day. We're finally getting this thing on the ground, and we're gonna figure out if all the hard work that I just put into it actually works, or if I screwed something up so bad the car's never gonna drive again. One thing really quick before we start is I got the day off today, so I finally have a full day to work on this and get it done. And without taking days like this, I would have never been this far on this project, especially just doing it by myself on these jack stands. So I wanted to teach you guys a hack on how I've been able to get so much time off, and maybe it could help you guys out too. So the way that you do this is find the number to your work and call them up. So we go and just do this. Hey, I'm not gonna make it in today. Yeah, no, dude, I'm so sick. I can't even get out of bed. Yeah, so you can't be sick more than twice in a week? Okay, well, you know what? I've got a bomb. And just like that, you got the whole day off, and let's get into it. So something kind of crazy. So I was getting extremely annoyed. I got the brakes on, they look pretty good, but the springs kept falling out while I was doing it. And halfway through, I kind of started thinking, and I was like, if you jack up any other car, your springs don't fall out.
Got the paddock on my wrist, doing front flips, giving you my...
So something, I've known something is wrong, but me listening to every other YouTube review on how to install these, it basically just said adjust this, get the right height you want. Didn't mention anything about the spring. And so my dumbass put it in this way. I just found out you use the spring for the height on the back, and then you adjust that to the spring, so then you can adjust your damper with this. There's a reason that it's all the way out, and it shouldn't be like that. So I'm gonna adjust the spring and this correctly. So now, not only will this feel like a new car with the M3 rear end, but it's actually gonna feel like a regular car with the spring set up correctly. So here's what we got going on, how we're gonna set up the coils. So I went to the junkyard and got these, even though I'm stupid and I just realized I already had some. And then I've got the spring with this guy. So I've got this out, and I can now more easily get this in. And every single person that I've seen doing these has done this on the bottom, but all of the nice companies of the ones that I can't afford but I wish I had, put it on the top. So I'm just gonna kind of copy them. And this isn't super accurate or maybe the right way to do it, but I'm gonna measure to here, it's about 9, and then I'm gonna raise it up 5 centimeters. I'm gonna raise it up 5 something. And now that I've got that squished a little bit, the spring technically has our 5 millimeters of preload on it, and that's where I think we wanna be. I don't know too much about this stuff. Now we're gonna twist this to where it matches up exactly with that. And I know that it's where I wanted it because it can hand tighten in there. So now we're gonna tighten this, and we should be good to go. I'll update you guys when I drive about how this feels. Nothing exploded? Damn. Well, here she is. This is crazy. I just can't believe that it's on the ground. And I put it in reverse, and it reversed half a foot. So something worked. That's all I gotta say.
I want to take it out so bad right now, but it's already so late and I gotta work in the morning. So see you guys tomorrow when I take it out. Waiting to get alignment and slave cylinder properly bled this week, and then we'll finally take the car out and test how it feels. Let me know if you guys want a price breakdown video. I'd have to look way back to see costs, but I can find it if you guys want to see.